Summit students, glad you could join us for Summit Students at Homes this Wednesday night. It's going to be a little bit different. We have some ugly guy,
Yeah.
Runks, with us. He's in Levelland trying to work on the weather out there. I mean, leather.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to do a Q&A and just enjoy our time. Since our series that we're doing, we're answering tough questions. So we'll have some tough questions and some easy questions for Runks to answer. So Runks, what's up, man?
All right. Well, how are you, man?
We're good. We're good. How's Levelland?
It's great, man. It's great.
Living the dream still?
Living the dream, man. West Texas,
Wonderful.
almost heaven.
I don't know about that.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about your family so we can get to know them a little bit better.
I'm married. My wife is named Joanna. She's awesome. She is a principal for the elementary school here in town. And I have two kids, Ellie and Nick. Ellie, I don't know how old Ellie is, 29? She's 29. She lives in Spain, which sounds cool, but it's awful. I hate it. Wish she'd come home. Nick, my son Nick, lives in Dallas. He got married last summer to an awesome girl named Olivia. And Nick is 25 or 6. I don't know. And he works for Capital One.
So Nick played football at UMHB.
No. Wash your mouth out. Wash your mouth out. No. He played football at Hardin Simmons.
At Hardin Sinners. Okay.
Yeah, Hardin Simmons. Not that
so wonderful.
Belton.
We got to give you a hard time, man.
Yeah, come on.
Does UMHB still have a football program?
They should have got the death penalty for what they did.
Yeah. I know they had that whole mix-up.
They did,
so,
and it caused a huge controversy. It was awesome.
And you went to where for college?
McMurray in Abilene.
Abilene. So, yeah.
Yep.
Methodist. Yeah.
Methodist. Yeah, I went there to run track.
Yep. Man, we got to show that picture. I'll pop it up on the video of you with those hair curlers and everything that they put out. So, well, man, tell us about your hobbies.
My hobbies? Man, I got way too many hobbies. I'm a hunter. I'm a runner. I'm a leather worker. I'm a woodworker. I'm a metal worker. I'm just a rancher. I got way too many irons in the fire all the time.
So you talked a little bit about your ranch whenever you're here. Tell us about it real quick.
We got a couple hundred acres over close to Childress, and we run a few cows, and we hunt and do our thing out there. It's kind of a getaway, but thought I'd make a little money off of it doing the cows, and I love it. So good place.
You redid the little farmhouse there, didn't you?
Yeah. We remodeled the ranch house. We tore down some barns, and it was all done with like old reclaimed wood and tin, and it was crazy. It's beautiful. I can't believe I built it. Yeah, pretty awesome.
So tell us your favorite verse.
My favorite Bible verse is my life verse is 2 Corinthians 12, 9, which is for my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. So you know my story about addictions and struggles with that, and just the finding the power of God in my moments of weakness really carried me through some really dark days of my life, and continue to carry me today. You know, and the next verse after that is the verse, everybody knows is when I'm weak, then I'm strong. And that's kind of what I lean on, kind of my life verse, really.
I think I have a yellow T-shirt that says "Live Weak." That was a Runks shirt.
Yep. The old school Live Weak shirts. Yep.
So we'll talk a little bit about your story. I know you shared some of it while you were here for RAD, but favorite worship song of all time, or favorite song of all time, man. It doesn't have to be a worship song.
A favorite song? Oh, yeah. Celebrate that Cool in the Gang.
Oh, geez, man.
Here's the thing. You know those stupid things going around on Facebook, like going, somebody nominated me to do my top 10 favorite movie. I just did the movie one. And there's a one about top 10 albums who influenced you or whatever. I'm like, I wish somebody would pick me, because people would laugh their butts off at how horrible my music taste is. My music taste is terrible. Terrible.
So just name a few of your favorite albums.
Favorite albums?
Yeah. Our favorite bands. Whatever you want to do there, man.
It's embarrassing. I mean, if you look at my iPod or whatever, it's like 90% disco. Disco and some random old country.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Who are your favorite old country singers?
Oh, like Johnny Cash or Statler Brothers, Kenny Rogers, Conway
Alabama.
Alabama. All right, yeah. I got a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Cool in the Gang, Hot Cherry, Wild Cherry.
Oh, geez, man.
That's not gonna mix up. Yeah. No. If I ever do that album challenge, people are gonna be like, "You're an idiot."
No, we already know it, man. We already know it.
No. I mean, I almost never listen to music anyway. I mean, almost never. Like I'm weird. Like if I'll drive all the way to anywhere, wherever, and not listen. They won't even turn the radio on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know some people that are podcasters. You know, they want to listen to podcasts as they travel.
If I'm listening to anything, it's sports radio.
Yeah.
I can only do one thing at a time. Like if I'm driving and there's music on, I can't think about anything else. Like if I'm driving and listening to music, I'm driving fast, I'm singing, I'm banging on the steering wheel. If not, I'm turning the music off and I'm thinking. I can't do more than one thing.
Yeah. I think that's the ADHD, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When mine gets to kicking real bad, all my lights go off and I have two lamps on either side that I focus in on what I'm doing, and it helps me focus a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So, what's your all-time favorite thing to eat?
To eat? Oh, ribeye steak.
Ribeye steak all day.
Over mesquite.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of surprised it wasn't deer backstrap or.
That's in there too. Yeah. Dude, like literally, if I had to only eat one thing for the rest of my life, I would eat ribeye. I could eat ribeye 3 meals a day and never get sick of it.
I'm there, dude. I went the other day and got some crawfish from a local place.
Yeah.
And oh man, I'm so glad we live where we live, where we can get that pretty easily.
That's cool. I've only eaten crawfish one time. I wasn't a big fan.
What's up with that, dude?
I don't like seafood.
I could do this.
The only thing that I eat that swims is shrimp.
You know, youth pastors would be like dying to do this right now, but you know, seafood is whatever you chew up and go, ah.
Yeah.
So I know you don't embarrass easy, so I had to throw this one in there. Most embarrassing thing you've ever done?
I was thinking about that earlier. You told me you were going to ask me that. I was like, man, I don't get embarrassed, man. If I got embarrassed, I'd be crying in the closet all the time, like shivering. I'm such an idiot. But I mean, when I was in 9th grade, we was on a church youth retreat, and there was like a big rope swing in this trees on a river somewhere. I don't even know where we were. And we were going to climb up the tree and swing out of the rope and drop in the lake or whatever it was. And I had to pee like super bad, right? And so I climbed up the front of the line. I was like, I'll just swing out there, drop in the water, pee in the lake. Nobody will know, right? Well, I chickened out. I swung out on the rope, and I was so afraid it was so high, I didn't let go. So I peed my pants hanging there on that rope where everybody could see me sitting there, pee just running down my legs on the rope in front of the whole youth group. But I was just like, dang it. And I just dropped into the water. But yeah. I mean, I hoped it would kill me. I was like, I hope I drown because I do not want to come up out of this water. So, I mean, I was sitting there hanging on that rope, just pee running down my legs, man.
Man, we've all peed in the lake. It's all right, you know.
Yeah.
No thing.
Yeah.
So you've told around me, and we've known each other for years, man. Like I remember the first time I met you was back whenever you did camp at Lone Star with Net Extreme when we had the 3 weeks. That was the first time I met you. Yeah. And I think you were more ADD off the chain then than you are now. But you're like a one-man tennis match. There's only one person, one guy I know that you know that is like a one-man ping pong match, and that's Paul Mintz.
Oh, yeah.
He, everybody tells me every time you come around, man, he's got a lot of energy. You meet Paul, and it's like, dude, what is up?
Yeah.
But you've told a story before, and I don't know if it's your greatest all-time camp or D-Now story, but what's your favorite thing that's ever happened at a camp or a D-Now?
Funny stuff? Yeah.
Well, you probably know which one I'm thinking about.
You're thinking of the pig.
Yeah, the pig from wasn't that First Baptist Tyler that
the greatest prank ever. I mean, it was. I was at a camp in Arkansas for this one big church, and they did a big like a luau thing on the last night of camp. And the youth pastor got a local farmer to get a pig, and like he was going to barbecue the barbecue whole, the apple in his mouth, the whole thing, right? And he made this huge big deal about it. Anyway, the pig died. Like I think he got too hot or overheated or something. So the farmer calls the youth pastor and he's like, whatever. I mean, I'm giving you too much detail, but anyway, he was like, anyway, he says he knew we weren't going to eat this pig. The youth pastor got him to barbecue it anyway. And he was going to get bacon and pork chops or whatever for us to eat, but he wanted the pig, this barbecued dead pig for a decoration, right? So the farmer knew we weren't going to eat it, so he didn't even gut it. All right. He didn't wash it, nothing. He just left it laying in the sun for 3 days and then cooked it. And he brought it out to the camp, and it was the most disgusting thing you've ever smelled in your life. Dude. It was like barbecued rotting flesh. It was hideous. And anyway, we eat, and the pig's in there, and it was disgusting. Anyway, we had to have worship in the same room, so we had to get rid of the pig. So they go to take the pig out of the room, and it's like, if you're boiled a chicken, you like turn to grab the legs and the bones, like twist inside. That's what the pig was doing. He was like mush. So they rolled him over on a tarp, took him out in the woods, got rid of him. So like 3 o'clock in the morning, some senior guys snuck out, got the pig, rolled it on a tarp, went down to the girls' cabin and kicked the door open and threw it in. And this thing blew up. It popped like a water balloon, man. And it was the most awesome thing I've ever. It was amazing. Everybody, oh gosh, the girls of the camp was mad. Everybody was so mad about the whole thing, man. I think the only people there who thought it was funny were me and the 4 guys that did it. It was awesome, man. It was insane.
I think you said at one point in time, wasn't that at Camp Wow, Walk on Water in Oklahoma? Or was it in
Arkansas? It was in Arkansas somewhere.
Yeah. Oh man, you got any other good ones that you haven't shared with me that you want to share?
Gosh, man, I don't know. I've seen it all, man. I've seen it. I've been doing this for a long time.
So how long have you been doing this?
Traveling full time since '98.
Since '98. So how many D-Nows do you think you do a year?
I don't know, 10 or 15.
You had
probably.
12. You had like 12 right in a row this year, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then with normal
conferences and other things, but yeah.
With normal camp, you're normally booked for the whole summer.
Yeah, I usually do 6 or 7 camps.
Yeah. So speaking of that, man, how can we pray for you right now? I guess you need to explain a little bit what you do because it's kind of hard for some of us to understand all that you do, getting ready for camps and D-Nows and stuff. And I know this COVID junk has affected you. So tell us a little bit of your story when you left youth ministry, now what you do, and then tell us how we can be praying for you.
Well, I've been doing full-time youth evangelism since '98. I was a youth pastor before that, and felt like God was calling me to do this full-time. And I was probably traveling 6 or 7 weeks a year. My church was letting me be gone, and I felt like God was calling me to do this full-time. So we took a step of faith in '97, launched January of '98, and I started traveling full-time. And now, I travel 180-something days a year. I'm on the road just like the D-Now did with y'all. I'm doing stuff like that every weekend, whether it's, camps or conferences or D-Nows or whatever, it's just youth revivals, whatever. And just an itinerant ministry just on the road all the time. And now with this COVID thing, man, dude, I'm in the perfect storm of the the travel industry and the event industry, you know what I'm saying? And all that's shut down. And so all my events from March till August have canceled. I still have one camp that hasn't canceled. I'm hoping that they hang on. So, and Texas is starting to open back up, and it's a camp in Texas, so maybe it'll happen. It's kind of crazy, man. But I do have some youth pastors that have been contacting me that their camps have canceled, and they're thinking of doing something in-house, like doing a camp, in town. You know what I'm saying? Are you thinking about doing something like that?
Yeah, man, we talked about that.
I thought your camp canceled. I thought your camp didn't cancel.
Yeah, we've had to pull the plug. One was
Really?
at UMHB, the 8th through the 12th, and then the other one is in South Padre. And right now, that one's for sure like on the cusp. They're close to canceling. We're doing it with Generate. So Drew Warsham and Ed Young
Yeah.
or Ed Newton. I
Yeah.
can't remember. So
Yeah.
So how can we pray for you right now with the perfect
Just
storm, man?
pray. Pray. I mean, financially, we're okay. We plan for things like this. We try to be prepared. As I mentioned, we're doing this a long time, and like when I had pneumonia a few years ago, we I lost a lot of events over that. So we really been disciplined to try to be prepared in case something like that ever happened again. So we're okay as long as this doesn't drag out too long. But just pray, man. Got to open doors and the events would start happening again. Right now I've still got a pretty good fall schedule. Next spring is pretty good shape, but I just need to start happening again, man. And plus, dude, I'm going crazy, man. I haven't preached since March 13th. I'm ready to get back out there and I'm a people person, dude. I'm stuck in this house. And, if I didn't have this leather thing I was doing, man, I would be going nuts, but I've got something to do. And that's kind of a side hustle that God's blessed us with. So that's good. But, just pray that God would start opening doors of ministry again, to be able to get back out there. And I'm ready to go, dude. I'm ready to go, just pray that God would bless us financially. Because technically I have no salary. Technically I don't have a job right now. So, but it's crazy time, man. But God, that's one thing, I think it's just one thing God has been teaching me through this, man, is just to trust him. It's lessons I've learned before, it's just reminding me that, he's in control and he's bigger than coronavirus or this pandemic or whatever it is we're going through. He's bigger than that, and he has a plan, and he's still gonna, events are gonna happen again, and it's gonna be all right. He's gonna take care of us. I say all the time, how I do my finances in my ministry. It's like I'll come for your D now or your camp for the best you can do, and I always say this, Psalms, it says that God is a cattle on 1,000 hills, and sometimes I'm like, God, you may have to sell a cow to pay for this, but right now I'm like, you may need to sell a couple of cows, but it'll be all right. So anyway, just
Yeah.
So
Most people don't realize that guys that do what you do depend on your insurance is paid through what you do. Your gas, your food, your everything that you do.
Yeah.
Obviously your wife works in the school district, and that's normally a good source of continuous income. Maybe not as good as some other things, but like when you come and you're with us, man, we always try to do the best we can financially.
Yeah, y'all do. You always take care of us, man.
To bless you and your family, but right now those events aren't happening, so support is a little thin. So, what are your biggest needs, and how can we support you and the family, man?
Right now, you can. We accept donations for our ministry at runks.com/donate, and there's been some people that have really been, just come through. We had a lot of random donations come in, which have been very helpful and a blessing. And if people want to do that, they can. That's we have to raise in a normal year around 10 to 12,000 a year to cover, to meet budget, just from the difference between what churches can pay and what we need to meet budget. So, some of the people can donate that way. I also sell all my Runkwear t-shirts online at runkware.com. Another way you support me, I have that leather as a side hustle that I do. In fact, I'm making a purse today. So anyway, yeah.
Do you ever think you'd be in the purse industry, man?
No, no, I'm making a big old tote purse, man. So, but anyway, that's double R leather on Facebook or Instagram if anybody cares about that. But
shoot, I love my stuff. So there's
yeah, you get your card thing, yeah.
And then you remember you made my little key deal.
Yeah.
And then you gave that to me whenever we were in LaGrange, if you remember.
Yeah, the original keychain. Yep. Yeah, so it's a little bigger now, man. Here's the purse right now. That'll be a purse. Yep. So anyway, crazy.
So I'm glad you were wearing pants, man.
Oh yeah. I got on my joggers.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah, man. We'll put those links and stuff in the video so people can.
Thank you.
support you, man. We love you and want to make sure that God's doing everything we can be doing for you. And so, man, let's dive into some things that are a little bit deeper. You mentioned earlier, you've gone through the pneumonia thing a couple of years ago, right at the end of camp season. Had to cancel a bunch of events, and you said God's just kind of reiterating what He said to you. But what's God been saying to you or teaching you through this time?
Mainly just to keep trusting Him. He's in control. He's bigger than this, and to really to feed my faith, not my fear. And fear has not been a real problem for me. It's just feed my faith and continue to make sure that I'm taking care of myself spiritually, just to to just keep, like I say all the time, you got to rub up against Jesus so He rubs off on you, and just trying to stay focused and stay in the Word, and not let my emotions get the best of me, or get down in the funk. And my past, I've battled depression in the past, and been a long time since that was a big part of my life. But that's sometimes in the midst of this, I've had to, that's been under the surface, and just trying to make sure I don't let that get the best of me, and just and then that's, and I know what to do. I got to stay connected. Just connect to God, connect to others. Main thing, stay connected, and spend time with God, spend time with my wife and family and others, people like you, just friends, and not just isolate myself,
Right.
So,
well, man, like last year, whenever we were going through kind of a funky season, I remember every day waking up for you and like trying to keep track of your schedule through the summer. And I asked you, how can we specifically pray? How can I specifically pray for you? And I remember you saying, I just pray that I don't do this on my own.
Yeah.
I'm totally dependent on Christ. And man, that was something every day that we as a family prayed for you. And I prayed as a friend, just, God, since He's at this camp with these kids, I pray that you move and work, but that it's not under your power and your personality and you're this, and this, but it's totally Him. So
I appreciate it, man. I remember you doing that, man. It really meant a lot. That's what I always pray before I go on stage. Like, man, don't dial this in. Don't go up there in your own strength. Man, I may have done this 1,000 times, but this is the first time these kids are going to hear this, and this is real and fresh, and it needs to be fresh to me. And God, don't let me dial this in.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, what made you switch from being an awesome youth pastor to being a traveling evangelist?
Well, I wasn't that awesome a youth pastor. You probably heard me say this. I was the kind of youth pastor that the students loved me. The parents and the pastor, the deacons, not so much.
Did you wear flip flops every time you taught?
All the time, man. Yeah. I drove all the adults crazy. I was just so unorganized, man. But the big thing was, I was only good at one thing, and that was preaching. You know what I mean? All the administrative stuff and all that stuff and discipleship, just not my strong suits. And I just felt like this is what God wanted me to do. And I was on a walk to Emmaus. I don't know if you ever heard of Walk to Emmaus. Just basically a spiritual retreat for adults. And the whole time I was there, it was in April of '97, and I just knew this is what God was saying. I want you to go full time and do this full time. And man, it was crazy. I didn't have anything on my schedule at the time, and this is so old school, man. It's '97. You know what I mean? I sent out an email and I made a paper brochure, old school, and mailed it out to like 200 people, and that's it. And then that's, the rest is history, I guess. I don't know. So that's one thing, man. Doing what I do, social media has made it a lot easier just to market and stay in front of people. But anyway, that's kind of how I got started. So
sweet, man. So we kind of talked beforehand, and one of the things, we kind of combined 3 questions together. So I don't know if you want me to ask these 3 questions and then you just go to town on it or what, but what do you think the biggest challenge right now for teenagers? What big challenge are they facing? What do you think the biggest challenge for churches are? The challenges that we have ministering to students, and kind of what's your best advice right now with all this stuff going on? What's your best advice that you would give teenagers?
Well, right this second, what's the biggest challenge? I think is just, I think they're probably bored. I think the isolation of being alone, they don't have school, they don't have anywhere to go or anything to do. and I think that uh, amplifies anything else that's a struggle in their life. If they've got a problem with pornography or just wasting their lives on social media, I think that all gets compounded into a bigger and bigger and bigger issue. I mean, all the issues that we have with teenagers anyway, that, we're the most connected generation in the history of the world, but also the most isolated. I mean, you've got the world at your fingertips on your phone, but you're not really connected in real relationships with people. That's just more of a struggle. I think all of that is compounded during this time of isolation, and I think that the challenge for the church is that, especially at this time, man. It's like, I mean, you can't go hang out with them. You know what I mean? You can't go hug their neck and take them to go get a Coke or whatever. I mean, hopefully that's starting to open back up, but I mean, I would think the biggest challenge of church right this second in this midst of all this is staying connected, and staying connected to them. And I think that what I advise for the teenagers really, and it's my advice that I always give them, is, man, they gotta, their spiritual disciplines have got to be priorities in their life. You know what I mean? Just it's especially right now, but always. I mean, all everything that they find on here is not the truth. You know what I'm saying? There is so much. 90% of stuff you're going to read right here, students, is not true. It's bull. It's not real. And if you don't know the truth by studying the Word of God, you're not going to be able to discern that. And probably what I pray mostly for teenagers is discernment, to be able to discern what voice should you be listening to. Because man, you're a lone wolf, man. I mean, and if they grow up if they're from a Christian family, they've got maybe godly parents that's a voice in their life. But for a lot of students, man, you're the only voice in their life. Every other voice in the world is telling them to go the other direction. I mean, it's just, it's a scary, it's a crazy time, man.
Yeah. Well, we're fixing to go through some
right now. I can't imagine.
We're fixing to go through some changes, man. We see, like us just praying as a staff. Our pastor has really encouraged us during this time to really focus on praying and diving into God's Word and just replenishing ourselves. I mean, this, man. You're traveling all the time, and it's hard. It's easy to say, "Oh man, I just don't want to do my quiet time today." I'd rather get that extra 15, 20 minutes of sleep or whatever, however long it takes you.
Or play around on Instagram.
Yeah, play around on Instagram. God, I wish I was good at Instagram. I'm not, man.
I do it. I'm always like, I don't know if I'm doing this right.
yeah. But I mean, one of the things that we are saying is, church can happen out there, but really and truly, church happens when we get together one-on-one, two-on-one, three-on-one, and we're rubbing elbows with each other and challenging each other and encouraging each other. So, that's one of my big things right now is, stay focused, do your quiet time. If you don't know how, man, this is a great opportunity. Would love to send them something that has stuck since Rad Weekend, has been the airplane deal. You made the comment that all of us as adult leaders, our pastor, myself, anybody that's teaching our teenagers, sometimes we feel like we have a baby that's just switched from milk to food, baby food. And it's like, after a while, okay, I'm not going to open my mouth. You got something you want to put in there. It's not good, or I don't like. So then it's the, So we've been using that and talking, about that a little bit. Thanks, man. I stole that.
That's all right. It's all right.
But just being in the Word is a huge deal. So with our ever-changing climate, with our culture and just all that's thrown at us, and I know teen culture is totally different, how can we respond to the moral conflicts that our teenagers are facing? It's like pornography. That's a great thing you just said. Not a great thing. It's devastating.
Yeah.
But, how do we combat, this is mainstream media now. This is what my friends are saying. This is what my parents are saying. This is what the world is advertising. I mean, I don't think we can sell cologne or perfume without half-naked people, man.
Right. Yeah.
So what encouragement would you give for our students with this changing climate, just to how they respond morally?
Well, I think as leaders, I mean, they need to hear the truth. You know what I mean? They need to hear the truth, and there's so much garbage out there that, I mean, you know, the phrase that you hear all the time is, "We just live your truth." There's no such thing as living your truth. There's the truth and there's your opinion, and anything outside of the truth, outside of the Word of God, is opinion. Period. And they need to know the truth. I mean, you know the statistics on the culture and the how many church going Christians know so little about the Bible. They need to know. I think as leaders, we need to be proclaiming the truth and not apologize for that. Um, and training them, and the students. I mean, I would encourage them, man, is don't just let anything you hear come in your head just because you read it on your dead. I just threw my phone on the floor. Just because you read it on your dead phone doesn't mean it's true, man. Just because it's on the internet. If it's on the internet, it's probably not true. But be discerning. Don't just let whatever comes into your head just decide that that's the truth. Because you can find you can Google. I mean, basically, like, people just go online and go like, tellmeimright.com, and then find something that just answers what they want to believe. I mean, just because you feel something, just because you think something, just because you have this opinion does not mean it's right. It has to stack up with the Word of God. That is the truth. And if it doesn't measure up or stack up with the truth, it's not the truth.
Oh, I mean, the saying, and I've heard this over and over and over. I bang my head up against the wall at night thinking about this. Well, it feels good, so it must be right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just because, I mean, I don't like broccoli, but broccoli's good for me, you know?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Most things that are good for you aren't enjoyable at the moment.
I think we laughed about this one time we were together. Um, you know, have you ever bit into a one-a-day vitamin? You know, it probably doesn't taste that good.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, man, I know this is something you've kind of alluded to, that you've dealt with depression. You know, I've done the same thing. But mental wellness is a big issue with a lot of our teenagers, and we're seeing statistics come out more and more and more. It's not just depression. It's not just bulimia or anorexia. It's not just this and those. You know, you're seeing more students, even guys, having, you know, self-image issues.
Right.
And so, what would your advice? What advice would you give to students that are struggling with anxiety or depression or some type of mental wellness, mental health issues?
Well, first of all, is you're not alone. That's one of the things I was always really embarrassed. I just thought, like, man, people knew I struggled with this. They think something was wrong with me, or I could be a preacher anymore, or whatever. I mean, it's a very normal. The depression is no different than cancer or any other disease. I mean, it's something that you deal with, and to realize, first of all, you're not alone, and you're not a freak because you have blah days. Um, some people in that's just part of their makeup, and maybe you need some medication. Mine was not a biological thing at all. It was tied to my childhood sexual abuse, but so I never have done medication for it. But is I would just is first of all, don't isolate yourself. Know you're not alone, and tell somebody if you're struggling with depression, or you're feeling blah, or you're feeling like hurting yourself, or if you feel worthless or unlovable or unloved or any of that junk, man. Um, tell your parents. Tell, if you can't talk to your parents, tell Cody. Tell an adult. Just tell a coach if you have to. Tell some adult that you trust what's going on, man, because you don't have to struggle like that. It can get better. I mean, I've been to the brink of suicide with all my junk, and I'm so far from that now. And you might need to see a counselor. You might need, for some of you, it might just be, you need to talk to Cody for a little bit and get things figured out and get back on the right track. But for some of you, depends on how serious it is, you might need some counseling and you might need some medication, and there's nothing wrong with that. And but you're not alone, and it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to tell somebody I'm struggling.
Definitely. I mean, I don't have a board of directors or anything like that. I know you do in your ministry. Those guys kind of help guide you, and some of those are really close friends and mentors to you.
Yeah.
But I've gone and seen counselors, just somebody outside my normal, everyday group, just to talk with and vent with. And I've got some mentors, all over the place that I talk to fairly regularly.
Yeah.
So, well, man, I want to do one more thing before we leave. So I've got a timer set on my phone, and we're just going to do. Hopefully, the ones I've got will take a minute. We may have to come up with some more, but let's just do a mad minute. And these are just like this or this and why. Some of these, we're not going to go into that.
It's like, well, I can't say hello in 30 minutes, man. This is going to take way longer than a minute.
Well, if we get close to the end of this, there's definitely a couple that I want to ask.
All right.
So here we go, man. 1 minute starting now. So Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, or tea?
None of the above.
What's your favorite drink?
Coffee or Topo Chico or Diet Coke.
All right, there you go. Oh, diet, man. God. Unsweet tea at least?
I'll keep my sexy figure.
Oh, yeah, sexy. Board, just a 1x4. You're just so skinny and tall, man.
Takes a lot of work.
Yeah. So mountains or beach?
Beach.
Put your feet in your flip flops and in the sand.
My wife and I were going to June the 3rd, but that's not happening.
Hunting or reading a book?
Hunting.
That would have been pretty easy. Would there be anything else that trumps hunting?
No.
Hanging out with Joanne, right?
Oh, yeah, I have to say that. Is she going to see this?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Baseball or football?
Football, hands down.
Football. Oh man, look, we're already at a minute. See, yeah, I know. Shut up. Stop. There we go. Here, we'll do the rest of these. Camp or D-Now? What's your favorite?
I love camp.
Love camp. Bacon or no bacon?
Always bacon.
NASCAR or not?
Not.
Hey, do you see that they're doing like virtual races right now?
What are they doing? Like playing video games? What are they doing?
Yeah, they've got these simulators and they're like racing each other. And some guys have come back and they're racing in the series. It's really funny, man. Or may not be funny to some, but it's pretty cool.
You're in your car alone. Why can't you do that anyway?
Well, I guess it's all spectators and they're going back, and I don't think their pit crews can be within 6 feet of each other. I wonder how that'll work. So when are we going to see our next dance video from Runks?
That's probably never going to happen again.
That was great.
Oh.
So are you a stay up late and get up late person or get up early?
I'm a get up early guy.
If you could be anybody, anyone, who would you be and why?
Well, it's going to sound kind of arrogant. I'd be me. I love my life, man. I can't imagine being anybody else.
The only thing I would change is I would have hair.
Dude, I wouldn't. If they had a pill that came back out, then I could have all my hair back. No way. I don't have to mess with it.
Yeah. Well, that is true.
I don't ever have to do anything. I mean, I wash my head with a bar of soap and I'm ready. I wake up looking this good.
Soap on a rope is what I just thought, man. You remember when you used to use that a lot?
Huh?
Do you remember when you used to say ding dang soap on a rope?
Oh, yeah. I still say ding dang way too much.
If you could live anywhere other than Levelland, where would you live and why?
Paducah, the ranch.
Paducah. Seriously, that would be that's the place of retirement.
Oh yeah. Dude, I'm already, I can live anywhere now and I live in Levelland. All I need to do is close to the airport.
I was really surprised you haven't moved to Dallas.
Oh, dude, no. Levelland has 13,000 people. I want to go anywhere, I'm going smaller. There's too many people here. I changed banks because it was on the other side of town. I'm a small town country bumpkin, dude.
You were redneck before redneck was cool.
Oh, yeah, always.
The last one, if you could be any animal, what would you be?
Whatever's the top, just a lion, I guess. I want to be on the top of the food chain. I don't want anybody, no predators. I want to be whooping everybody's butt. I don't want to be running from nobody.
So, did you watch the whole Tiger King series?
Oh yes, dude, it's
Yeah.
insane. Everybody in that show is nuts. All of
Did you
them.
watch the Did you watch the new one that came out that was like the question and answer to all the
Yeah.
yeah.
With what's
So
it, Joe McHale or whatever? Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
did Carol Baskin kill her husband?
Yeah. She fed him to the tigers.
Or he's in the under the septic system, right?
Dude, you know they're doing a movie?
Yeah. Who's playing have you seen who they suggested for playing
They signed Nicholas Cage to play Joe Exotic.
Oh, did they?
That's what
Man, I would kind of hope there's some of those people in there that I would kind of hope they would play themselves.
Yeah.
Because
I was hoping I
those,
thought McConaughey ought to do Joe Exotic.
oh yeah, he would be funny.
He'd be funny.
Definitely.
So I don't know. It was like watching a train wreck, man. I mean, it was the most insane thing. You can't take your eyes off of it. It was just my wife every night like, let's watch more, man. What's gonna happen? It was nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. And you know what the funny thing is? Like I binge watched it. So my family was gone, and like for like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, man, I was watching these episodes, and it was like, oh my gosh, why am I watching this? It's so bad. But it's like a bad car wreck, man. You're driving past, you're like, you don't want to look, but you have to.
Take your eyes off of it, man. It's just like, okay, well, these people are real and they really exist, and this all happened. Yeah. When he would make those videos, like, I mean, he would shoot like a doll of Carol Baskin, and it was nuts, flat out nuts.
He probably still is, man. Imagine being locked up and not being able to celebrate all the celebrity status. Man, we've gotten way off top here.
Oh yeah, we did. It was a surprise. 2 guys in ADD. Look what happened. We only had a minute. What did we do? 10?
Yeah, something like that. Well, man, I appreciate it, and we're gonna check out, and so like I said, man, can't thank you enough for joining us and just doing this.
Man. Yeah, it's blessed.
So all right, man. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Next year, D now.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Remember, we already got contract signed. So
what do we have? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think you're canceled.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll see
next February. All right, later.
We better all be good by February.
Yeah, no kidding.